listen to me. Go ahead, answer the sponge. You have 5 minutes. By the time I do roll, you should be, Ryan, yeah. You should be done. It is multiple choice, and today is not a 95-minute class, but you need to pay attention. We're going to do a near part activity, and then, Ryan, where's your Chromebook?
I ain't want it.
You.
I already answered the question.
I know, but you're going to need one to near part.
I'm gonna do it with Minnie.
No. I got one over here. So anyway, you're going to, there's a quiz at the end. You're going to need to pay attention to this Nearpod presentation. I added something new for this Nearpod thing. Is a memory type thing. Like a old school memory game. So it's pictures. And you're going to do that. So real quickly, Spawn, so we can get to this. When you're going to do the quiz, it's 11 questions. It's all true, false with one short answer. Got me?
Yes, ma'am.
The quiz?
Yikes.
No.
What? Is that not how you say it?
No. No,
How you say it?
Shia.
It's got a
But
T
yeah, I
in it.
know. How you saying it?
Why
All
does
right.
that sound like Devin?
Oh. Yeah. So here we go. 5. You should be done. Let me do roll real quick. I gotta do roll. Armstrong,
Here.
Bailey, Brown,
Here.
Brown,
Here.
Daniels, Evans, Evans,
Here.
Grant,
Here.
Hatcher,
Here.
Hendricks,
Here.
Chloe,
Here.
Hovind,
Here.
Kidd,
Here.
Lyles, McGill,
Here.
Jasmine.
Here.
Make sure you get back Fridays. You got everything?
I think so.
Where's my article at? The article? That activity? Yeah. Mitchell,
Here.
Reeves,
Here.
Richardson,
Here.
Stafford,
Here.
Wynn,
Here.
Davis,
Here.
Foster,
Here.
Ryan,
Here.
Becky,
Here.
Sonia's here, Smith,
Here.
and Sally.
Here.
Alright, now, y'all should be done with sponge. Everybody done? Alright, so real quickly, let me go back. Oh, look, let me show, raise your hand if you've been peeping Google Classroom. Or if you peeped Google Classroom. The fact that you asked what I mean lets me know you haven't looked in there. Well, I'm not, don't be looking now. Now, here's my suggestion for those of you that actually peep the activity or whatever's in there. I would get together with the group and we would get together and do what?
Study.
Get the answers. Alright, so 3 people have not answered, which is a problem because there's only one that's out. Let's see.
I didn't turn it.
Oh, okay. Alright, so, what's the answer?
Islam.
Islam. And what was displayed? What was displayed? No.
The rules they have to follow.
Thank you. The 5 pillars of Islam. She said that we knew the answer. That's true, but I meant what was the question thing. All right. So real quickly, today you're going to be, the standard that we're focusing on today is this. SSWH 5C and SSWH 5D. You're going to see this map again when we get to the Nearpod presentation. But what I wanted you to see is like a view, an overview of the impact of Islam or the Muslim world over these 3 continents. Do you see this? This is trade. This represents trading, and it reached all the way from where? From where? China. Where else? Come on, talk.
India.
India. Of course, the Middle East. What is this?
Asia.
No.
There's not
Well,
Asia.
I'm trying to say Europe. With Europe, Middle East, and then what is this?
Africa.
More specifically,
Southeast.
I heard it. North Africa. Alright, now, so I want you to see this, and today, it'll take about 25 minutes to do this, or maybe less, I don't know, depending on how you guys come up with the answers. But, you're also going to learn the impact or contribution of Islamic scholars in science, math, and geography. You can thank 2 people that you're going to learn about today for these math classes you may or may not like. Okay? Particularly. Alright, questions about where we're headed? Alright. Also, when you're taking your quiz today, oh, by the way, real quickly, take a picture of this. There's a reason. Get out your cell phone. Take a picture of this real quick, because you're going to need it later. Take a picture. So as you're taking a picture, let me explain to you what you see. There's 2 key factors that influence, with Middle East influence and what they influence. One key factor is that the trade world routes birth of multiple intellectuals. You're going to see 2 today. The second key factor is that because the faith of Islam promoted, or you were required to read and understand the Quran, it promoted literacy. Literacy meaning what? The ability to read. Okay? The ability to read. And so that's what those are the 2 key factors. You will need this again later on. Questions? Nope. Alright, go to nearpod.com.
What a code be?
Hold on. There's your code. There you go. And put in your first initial, last name, please. It's got to collect data at the end.
O. O. J.
Use code. Yeah.
Oh. That's pop. Oh, they're optional?
So keep it in there. You try it.
Wait, that's not how it's done.
Or here. As long as I know it's you. That's fine. Alright, everybody in? Who's not in? Alright. Hold on, I'll wait. First initial, last name. Except for Brian. Well. Okay. Are we in? Who's not in? What you waiting on? Alright, you can get in. You can catch up. There? Almost there. Alright, so here we go. So I need you to listen. You're quiet. Ladies on the couch. I'm going to stop and ask questions along the way because we're supposed to assist as we're teaching. I'm guilty of not doing that. I know I am. I just talk and keep talking, don't I?
Yes.
Alright, so today I'm going to play by the rules. Alright. So, remember I showed this map at the beginning of class? If I showed you this map on a quiz, hint, hint, and all I did was show you the map, what would you tell me what this map represents? And what countries does it include?
Europe, Asia, and Africa.
Now, when you say Africa, you got to be specific. North Africa. If you really, and listen,
China.
if you really want to be more specific, like, well, okay, let me ask you this before I do this. What's the difference between absolute and relative location? Raise your hand, don't shout it out. Absolute and relative location. Yes.
So it's like the actual, like, point of like where it is, and then like relative is like around the area.
Okay, a general area. So if I say meet me at, if I say meet me at room 226 or in room 226, is that absolute or relative?
Absolutely.
But if I said meet me on the 200 hall, relative. So if I told you on the test, quiz, hint, give me an absolute location of the countries that were impacted by Islamic trade, you will tell me China, Middle East, North Africa, Europe, India. Okay? But if I said give me a relative inclusion of the countries, you would say all of, most of Asia, some of Africa, Islam. Got me? Okay. Questions? I'm asking.
There's no question.
There's no questions, so everybody's.
Hey, wait, will that,
There is one question.
little guide thing be on the?
If I should choose to put this picture up, I'm gonna separate y'all like tea, like vinegar and oil. Yes, it will.
Like cereal and milk.
No, seriously, my cereal is fixed too. Alright. Alright, here is the only field trip you're going to have. I tried to give you an idea of what. Try to give you that. This is in the Sahara Desert. It's gonna show you like the markets, what it's like. Now, but I do want you to think about during medieval times, you would not have seen what? What would you not have seen? I know. Those stores, yeah, cars, of course, but the stores, this is like a strip mall. It's like a strip. I'm not controlling that. You can control. You can stop it. Control it. Yes, you can stop it from spinning. Oh, I did it. You gotta hold it.
Just hold it.
Yeah, hold it, and then you can control it.
What you do like this?
Touch screen that. It's okay. It's all right. I have blood on my That makes me dizzy. Don't do that. Alright. So, I know. We're not going to stay here long. I just wanted you to see. But look, somebody, listen, look here. This is an example of what you're about to see.
Is that a
Certain
lady
countries
or a man?
traded metal. Where?
Is that a lady?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Look like a man. But you know these. Hold on. Now, what do you notice about the people in this, for real? Well, it's in the desert, but I want you to clothes.
They selling.
It's a market.
They're not selling people.
I mean, they have some stuff, but I'm trying to see if it gets back there. Some of the different things they're selling. Yeah.
Out there, he in that hot wearing.
But you know what I asked one of them type persons like them once? They're not hot. But I'm saying and even it's not hot. Even and number one, they're accustomed to. You and I probably fall out or something. You get up there like, who's too hot? But they say even like when you see some of them wearing black, I'm like, dude, you gotta be hot. He's like, no, black deflects the what? For some reason, the sun. No, I'm saying, I mean the heat. They're not hot.
It's not humid there like it's
Black.
All right, now, go to page. It's sort of like brown. Okay, now, for real.
Good job.
Okay, now, back focus, back. Now go to page.
It's just a carcass. You can come back.
It's dead now.
Go down to. Here we go. I think it's talking. 33. Go to the one that says SSWH5C. Again, that is our standard. I think it's 32 or 33. I'm not sure. But what is it? 32. Page 32. Now, the whole entire file is the whole entire unit. We're not going to do C and D today. Talking. Okay, now. Here is another map. And to be honest with you, I can actually show you, ladies on the couch, y'all got to stop that chattering. I can show you this picture and quiz you on this map alone as well. Because it shows you the different, you see the Silk Road, which represents who? What country? I heard it. China. Mediterranean. What? Middle East and what? Parts of North Africa. And then you got the Trans-Saharan, which is the, you know that represents the what region? The what? The desert. The desert. Okay? Questions?
So all those things is in the same place.
Hmm?
It's in the same place.
They are linked. Remember, it's interconnected. That's what that means. You see that? The Indian Ocean. Remember, that's the one where they had the little communities along the side because there's so many people from different regions end up being there. And that's what. Now you see why they call it interconnected. Y'all get that? So this could be a test question by itself. I project this map up and say, explain, and that literally be the question. Explain. Hint, hint. Explain. And you have to use the CSAT format to explain. Wait a minute, hold on. I got 3 people trying to talk. Yes.
So to answer that, would you be like, these are interconnecting trade routes?
And how they all what with each other. Well, you'll learn how they all connected later today.
So you just like explain how they all connect?
And what they brought with them to do what? To trade. And you see they all ended up like, it's like a little circle.
So, is there a specific name for all those?
You will, yes, that's where we're headed. Alright, any other questions? Okay, so this is in your notes, by the way. I booked it for you, but so I hope I know you've already printed it out. But if not, so 3 continents. We already discussed that. Islamic World Center in the middle of 4 world made. That's why I said they all made it. Like Middle East, the Middle East is literally, and if you look up here, literally in the middle of what? Everything. Everything. It's like, even like this in Europe is the, I need to freeze that. Hold on. Middle East is right here, okay? And you got Africa, you've got Europe, you've got Asia, and it literally, what's that, Middle East in the middle of everything. And so they really hit sitting in a what? Pretty good what? Position. Okay? Pretty good position for trading. Okay? So, stability offered by the Islamic Caliph. What is this is one of my words. What is this? The leaders from which one? 90% Sunni. What was the name for the Shia? I know, but what was the leader's name?
Ham
No, that's not Ham.
And not M-R.
Look, thank you. I-M-A-M. And it still means what though? Leader, but of the Shia. Good job. Now, the growth of these trade routes also included, which I showed you in the map, Mediterranean, Trans-Saharan Caravan, Silk Road, Indian Ocean Maritime. You should definitely get these 2 right because these are from ancient times. The only thing new for you is going to be this and this. And this is Africa, Middle East, and Northern Africa. I'm pausing. Questions? Pausing. Y'all should be proud. Questions? Okay. And as the map showed, it linked the markets of China, Southeast Asia, India, East Africa, Middle East, Central Asia, West Africa, and Europe.
So, are those 2? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Yes.
Were they linked by like Israel?
Yeah, because Middle East is in the middle. And they all come in there. Here's the deal. You got the Mediterranean Sea. What had happened was before the Suez Canal was built, they had to circumvent the whole entire continent of Africa. And by the way, Africa is not a country, it is a continent. There are 50-something countries in Africa with 50 different leaders. Y'all know that, right? Presidents. And of those countries, how many do you think you can actually go to and not worry about problems? 2. 2.5. 2.5. Which 2.5 you think? Look at Africa. Which 2.5 you think?
South Africa.
South Africa's 1.
West Africa.
Lebanon.
Really? Lebanon is.
Wow, I was gonna say Africa.
And Lebanon's not in Africa.
Lebanon.
But you're right, it's terrible.
Lebanon.
So, right. Lebanon's. Look, you can't go to Egypt anymore. Not put it to you like this, y'all. Stop. Oh, look, you can go to South Africa. You might can go to Ghana, which is right here on the coast of Africa. Nigeria is toss up, depends on what part you go to. But all of them, you need to know somebody. Don't just go by yourself. Kenya is the best place to go if you want to see wildlife in its natural habitat. The wild, like zebras, giraffes, elephants, lions, tigers, everything. That's like an open zoo. However, yeah. But then, like, you've got to realize, this has got the Horn of Africa. Remember the movie Captain Phillips? I want to say it was. Did y'all see that? That's a great movie. They were the ships, American ships, were right here, like taking like products from the different countries, and they got hijacked by these pirates from Africa, and trying to take the products and stuff. But this is pretty dangerous. This whole little area, especially Sudan. I was talking to a guy from Sudan once, and I was telling him about the stuff I learned. He said, "How do you know this stuff?" I said, "I'm a teacher, number one, but is it true?" He never would answer my question about the fact that he wouldn't. He said, "Everything's not what you say." Yeah, but you didn't answer my question, so that tells me, he's like, you should come to Sudan. No, thank you, because I know part of it. You got North Sudan, and South Sudan. South Sudan might be okay. North Sudan is taken over by dictators, military dictators. Military dictators. Yeah, right. All right.
So those two maps you showed us, are those like connected?
There's still one country, but part of it was taken over by one person, the other part taken over by another.
So
It's almost like North Korea and South Korea.
Are
That
those
thing.
trade
We're in
routes?
Georgia now.
Those trade routes you showed us, are those aren't the same trade routes, right?
Talking about now, it's different now, but it's still.
Wait, no, like the ones you showed us
Uh-huh.
on the map.
Yeah.
Two trade routes, the same one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same route. Yes. All right, moving on to the next page. Again, you just saw this picture. Now, here's where the test question or the quiz question for today come into play. Yes, at the end. So, Silk, what country? Without even reading it.
China.
Thank you, Silk Road, Silk. What country you think the elephant tusk?
Africa.
Africa. What about what 2 countries you think slave trade
Africa.
and
Europe.
what?
Europe.
Middle East. Middle East, that's what they contribute. All right, now, what about our spices?
India.
India. That's literally one of your questions at the end. It's going to ask you, give me at least one product that each of these countries contributed to the trade route. And you're going to tell me Africa with the tusk and slave trade. Middle East is going to be what?
Textiles.
And
Glass.
glass. No, metalware. Last period I showed them this. Let me give you an example of what I mean by metalware. This is from Kuwait. Okay, it's gold, real gold. And when they say metalware, they're talking about literally like metal products and stuff that are made over there. And then, of course, textile, different industries and stuff you make from textile. Then you got Europe with the glass and whatnot. And then Africa again. Now, again, there's going to be a question. It's going to ask you, which 2 countries share the same type of product from trade? Africa and what? Middle East. And what do they, no, not Africa and Middle East, but Africa and what? That share the same two things.
How many questions are there?
Oh, no, it's 11. Slaves, you're right, Middle East and what? Africa. With the slaves. They have this in common. I'm telling you that for a reason. Questions? In Middle East,
Africa and
because
the
they
Middle
share
East have slaves.
slaves and slavery in
And then
common.
Africa also has the tusk, and then India has the spices.
Yep.
And
China
China has the silk.
and
Europe has middle.
and
Middle East has the text.
there you go. All right, I know that was kind of fast, but questions? Anyone have any questions? Hatcher, you good? Okay, I'm making sure. All right, yes.
So metalware comes from Middle East and the glass comes from.
Look, glass from Europe and oh yeah, glass from Europe and metalware and slaves and textiles from the Middle East. But everything else you know, silk, spices, Africa. Got me? Okay. Now, why do you think slavery was part of the Middle East too?
Because,
Huh? Look. Location is everything. And like I told the last class, look here. You do know that Libya is like taken over by terrorist organizations. They like pretty much the world has given up on that kind to save that country. You do know that slave trade still takes on in Africa.
Oh, bless you.
Y'all know that, right? And the people that actually collect the Africans are from the Middle East. That's what the crazy. So that is still going on in 2018. And if you've never seen the video footage, you should not here, but on your own time, just take a look at it. Those people look sad because they know they'll never see their families again. They're literally in shackles, like way back in slave trade times. I could even watch the video and I'm like, this can't be. And I thought it was a dream. You know how Facebook shows stuff and you're like, not real. That was real. All right, question? Okay, now here's an interesting thing. This weekend when I was looking at your notes and trying to condense everything before I showed it to you, this word here. Right, I thought that was a misprint. I'm like, what are they trying to spell? Then I dropped it into Google, like y'all do. Dropped it into Google. It's actually a boat that looks like this. Pirates of the Caribbean, y'all know those boats? That's what I think of, for real. And do you know they still use this? Not the boat, but the triangular sail. Because what I learned, there's a movie, I can't remember what the name of it, it's a true story, but this couple, I think they were engaged to be married. They set sail from Europe trying to go to somewhere, Hawaii.
It's called a drift.
Adrift, yes, thank you. And where were they at? But they were trying to, anyway, they ran into this big storm out in the middle of the ocean. And so it's called a drift because she literally had to drift her way to the next location, which was end up being Hawaii. And she ended up making a homemade one of these. And that's how she was able. She literally used the ocean waves and the wind to maneuver her to the island. Yeah. I'm sorry. You was gonna see the movie?
No, I said spoil it, the dude was never alive.
Oh, the dude he did die.
He was never alive in the first one.
He was for a little while.
That was her whole thing in her mouth.
Oh. But anyway, listen. What I want you to see or remember about this is again showing the contributions. Arab community is they created this, which made navigation easier. And they also create these camel saddles. For those of you that ride horses, raise your hand. I've never ridden one. You ever rode a horse before? I know you did. But okay. Now, can you ride horses without the saddles?
Yes.
But is it comfortable? No. Same thing. Listen. With the camels. Same thing. This little invention made riding those camels in the desert of Africa, North Africa, a lot more easier. Okay? That don't look. Somebody said they put them on horses, not horses, but the elephants too. I'm trying to think.
What?
Did they? Something similar, riding elephants.
I see.
Yeah. So So, question, if I ask you, what two inventions help improve navigation and or transportation from sub-Saharan Africa, what would you say? Raise your hand. Gotta raise your hand. Yes, give me one.
Air balance.
Okay, and you.
Camshaft.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Any other questions? Outstanding. Okay, here's another map again. I could throw this up and tell you to explain. Again, it's showing you the Islam and Muslim trade routes. And you can see it, right? And what they what? What they made and or what? Traded. So this could be glassware, metal, ceramics. Look. Camel.
Like the metal is actually
Mhm.
from Europe.
And that's what you explained. And I may even throw this up to make it easier. Yeah. I said I may. But yeah, that may be your response tomorrow. Hint, hint. You're supposed to pay attention. So you pay attention. Okay, now, here's where we're talking about how intellectuals were derived from this interaction. Timbuktu, I have my glass period to look it up. Timbuktu is located right here in Africa. Okay? And it is one of the most prestigious universities in Africa. That's where they go to get their education. So as a result of the trade and all the different things, that was created, and these are the other major schools or countries that were influenced by this as well. Now, I only asked you about Timbuktu if I should put that on the test. But, questions about that before I move on? Last standard, and then you're going to do some activities. Remember at the beginning of the class I told you to take a picture? This is the first one. The only difference in this and what I told you to take a picture of is that the reason, and this is a test question or a quiz question, the reasons that these different foster the place for intellectual is because when they would meet together at these universities and stuff, guys, they would talk about things they're learning and ideas are exchanged, which when you think about it is pretty neat. What are you doing? Well, over here we're doing this. What is your country doing? What are your people doing? And they're like, well, we might try it with our country, and so on. So that's the more information about the first way it was done. Questions? No? Yes. Remember that I told you to take a picture at the beginning of class?
So the reason
Two key factors
So the reason they met together is to talk about their ideas and what they were
and
doing
exchange.
each.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's how language is spread too, and cultural ideas and everything. And how the Middle East influenced North Africa.